What's up, fellas? So we ready for part 2 of how to know if she never loved you. All right, let's get this going. All right, the next one that was up, guys, she showed the bare minimum affection level. Guys, what I've seen from women that have been in love with me, and this is why you have to pay attention to this type of stuff, because it's easy to just say, I love you. Okay, so any of y'all guys ever watch any detective shows, any police shows? The police, they pay attention to what you're saying out your mouth, but they also pay attention to body language. See, that's what y'all guys got to understand. Body language is key. Affection, touching, and all that type of stuff, guys, it's hard to fake that stuff. You can't fake it. And so a person that, when they don't love you like that, once a woman falls in love with you, she can't help but not keep her hands off you. Guys, if for any of y'all guys who may not have ever had a girl fall in love with you, it's so bad, it's annoying. It's one of those things that, y'all ever heard the phrase, I know y'all heard this phrase, be careful what you wish for. It's one of those things that once a woman falls in love with you and she starts being overly affectionate, it can become annoying. She wants to hold hands all the time. She wants to cuddle all the time. You find yourself being the one say, I need some damn space. I don't mean space out of relationship. Just give me some fucking breathing room. Now, of course, you don't say this, right? But you're thinking it. On one hand, you know it's a good sign that she wants to be overly affectionate, but it can become overbearing at times. If you never felt like that from a woman in a relationship, it's a good chance she never was in love with you. Trust me, women cannot keep their hands off of somebody that they love. It ain't something, guys, love is one of those things that when a woman loves you, you know. A man might can hide it, right? A man might can be overly masculine, right? And not affectionate and love his woman to death. Because that's, we men, like masculine energy is not about bonding and holding hands and all that shit. Masculine energy is about building empires and shit like that, right? Protecting, providing. Feminine energy wants to bond and cuddle and shit like that. So when a woman is in love, she's in her ultimate feminine energy, okay? So if she didn't do that, if a woman isn't ultrally feminine, right, then she was never in love with you. Because when a woman is in her feminine energy, when she's in love, that's when she's in her utmost feminine energy. When a woman is in her masculine energy and she's in a relationship with a man. Now understand, I do understand that a woman can be masculine at the job or whatever, and then come home and be in her feminine energy. And I pointed this out to you guys. Any of y'all guys seen Monique on the Breakfast Club, how she was talking to Charlemagne in a masculine form, and then on the same, at the other side of her mouth, she was feminine with her husband online. In the same interview, pitch of voice and everything changes. That's because she's in love with him. You cannot hide that. Okay, guys? So I could put both of those in that same category. If she's in her feminine energy and she's overly affectionate. Next, guys, she never communicated multiple times throughout the day during a relationship. This is another expression of communication, is touching and stuff. The texting and stuff, she wants to hear from you. She wants to know how you doing. You're on her mind throughout the day. She can't help it. She wants to text you. Now, you have some women who will realize that they don't want to overdo it, right? And they can understand they're becoming a bugaboo. But what I've seen, guys, from the women who love me is you're going to at least get a good morning text and a good night text. And somewhere in the middle of the day, you're just going to get a checkup text. That's what I've seen from all the women that I know have loved me since, you know, texting has become a good form of communication. Obviously, this gonna go back 20 years, but over the last 10 years or so, since cell phones have exploded, right, with text messages. I remember when cell phones first came out, texting wasn't even a thing. Texting didn't even become a thing on cell phones to maybe like, I'm thinking like right around the time Facebook got popular, right? Around 2010, something like that. Up to that point, if a girl texts you, you gotta know it. Like, bitch, call. Why the fuck is you texting, right? I don't want to text with your ass all day. And a lot of that had to do with, y'all guys remember, you had to go through the 3. If you wanted to get to a letter, you had to go through 3. So if you wanted to goddamn put a O, you had to go M-N-O. To do O, you had to go 3 texts on the O. So unless you somebody who had one of those keyboard phones, which a lot of people didn't have those yet, texting was kind of annoying at the beginning. Once they got the keyboard phones, then that's when the texting exploded, all right? And so if you not getting that, guys, that's the bare minimum I see. If you not getting it, so this guy here wanted to know if a girl loved him. But for my guys right now that are in relationships, and you're questioning if she loved me right now, you gonna get and y'all don't live together, you gonna get a good morning text, a mid-afternoon text, or a text when she get off work, and a good night text every night. Every night. Now, God, this is not a requirement. This is about when a woman's in love with you. All right? So for all you guys, lose your fucking mind. Understand that a girl can care about you and not be in love with you. There's levels to this shit. So I'm not saying your girl don't care about you or very fond of you and stuff like that. If she just texts you once a day and stuff like that, that's fine. This is about being in love. And when a woman is in love, you're going to get those 3 texts every day. Every day, rain, sunshine, snow, hurricane, tornado, whatever, you're going to get a good morning text, a mid-afternoon text, a good night text. Every night. Every night. All right? Next, guys, she never suggested anything to take stress off of you. So, guys, as we men, we like to, if you have a girl you care about, you like to provide good experiences and stuff like that. And sometimes, occasionally, you want to go above and beyond for a girl you care a lot about, that you love and stuff like that, or you're very fond of, whatever, right? And you want to go to the nice restaurant, or you go on a vacation, you might want to stay at the nice hotel, all these type of things. What I've seen from the women that loved me, particularly, not so much now because I can afford, but back in the day when I would, you know, go to certain restaurants and stuff, and girls that cared a lot about me, they would make recommendations that we didn't have to go to that expensive spot, that we didn't have to go to that expensive hotel when we go on vacation and stuff. That's what I've seen. They want to take some of the stress off of you. Okay, guys, they want to help you. They don't burden you. What you'll see by women who don't really care or love you like that is you'll pick a spot and it's never good enough. It's the opposite. With women who love you, they say, hey, you know, guys, this is what I've seen. Sometimes you can say, hey, baby, let's go out here Saturday night. And to take stress off of you, they'll suggest they cook or something like that, or do take-in. That's what I've seen, guys. I've had girls that I would get first class or business class, and they would say, wow, that's a lot of money. You don't think we could do this or that? Like take a cheaper option and stuff like that. And then I was like, no, I'm big. Y'all, for all you guys, flying is the one time that being short is the great benefactor. I always have to spend extra on my flights just because my ass is wide and tall, right? I wish just for flying, that I was 5'6". I would ride coach all the fucking time. Why the fuck would I ride first class if I was 5'6"? I would never ride first class. My big ass, I'll never forget it, guys. And I done rode first class ever since then. I remember specifically on this one flight where I literally, and I think it was 2018, when I was coming down here to Atlanta, right? And I spent the whole trip elbowing this motherfucker back and forth about the arm pad on the armrest. And understand, guys, that this was business class. This wasn't even coach. This was business class. So even though business class give you more leg room, they don't give you more shoulder room. So I'm sitting up here with this goddamn motherfucker. We just the whole flight, we goddamn elbow wrestling for the goddamn armrest. I've flown first class ever since then. Ever since then, I've flown first class. All right, guys. So what you'll see is, a lot of times, what I'll see is, since I know the woman can't afford the flight, if we going on vacation, I'll pay for the flight because I know it's first class. If I was riding coach, I would make her pay for her own flight. I'm not going to bullshit you. I would make the woman probably pay for her own flight if I was riding coach. But since I have to ride first class and I know she can't afford it, then I'll pay for it, right? Because now it's like, let's hypothetically say you were my friend, right? And we were going to Miami, right? But you're an everyday hardworking guy, right? And I know you can't afford first class, right? And so since I have to ride first class, my big ass, then I would pay for your first class trip because, you know, I want you sitting next to me and I know that that's an expense that you can't afford. I'm kind of got off topic, but y'all know how I am with the rambling. I have no idea how the fuck I got on this topic, but anyway, y'all get my fucking point, right? Y'all know how the fuck I am by rambling. But anyway, guys, she would do things to take a burden off of you. She would offer things to lessen the stress. If you have a girl who's not trying to lessen stress, help you sometimes financially, try to take a cheaper option, she never loved you. All right, this is an important one, guys. Her friends and family never liked you. Now, I bet you guys are wondering, how the fuck did that get in there? Let me explain this to you guys. Her friends and family are going to love you on how much she tells them you make her happy. When a woman loves you, she goes and projects to her friends and family how much happiness you bring to her life, and therefore they love you, not so much about you, but they love how much happiness you bring her. When you have a woman that don't love you, she doesn't speak highly of you to them, and that's why they're either indifferent to you or they don't like you. And when they don't like you, that's because she comes back and tells them bad shit. But also, even if she doesn't tell them bad shit, if they're indifferent to you, she's not expressing to them how wonderful she cares about you, how much she cares about you. And so therefore, they're indifferent. So you can tell by case in point, if you guys have a homeboy and you love this dude and he comes back and you know how happy she makes him, well, then you're going to love that girl because of how much he loves her. But on the other hand, if he always comes back and is always negativity, then you're going to hate that bitch because she makes him unhappy. Okay, guys? Or if he comes back and he's kind of indifferent towards her, then you're going to be indifferent toward her. You're not going to love her. You're not going to dislike her because he's kind of like indifferent to her. So the point, what I'm saying is, pay attention to how her friends and her family react to you. If she expresses to them how much she loves you, then they're going to love you. And you're going to know that when you come around them, they're going to love you because she expresses to them how much she loves you. Okay, guys? Just want to put that out there. Next, guys, she never speaks highly of you on social media. So what I've seen from the women that are in love, not only will they do a picture with you on their social media, you'll get your prime time spot. You'll get your own picture on your birthday, and the caption usually will read, "To the love of my life, the man that keeps a smile on my face, the man who I live for, blah, 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 blah," right? That's what you will see from women that really love you, is that they want the world to know how much they love you. I'm not just talking about took a picture with you on Facebook or Instagram and said, "Hey, we in Miami." No, what I've seen from women when they really, now I don't get this because y'all guys, I don't get this right here because I don't do relationships. This is specifically for women who are in relationships. You don't get this. If you're a red pill guy and you got a rotation, do not expect a girl to highlight you on her social media platform. This is for somebody who's specifically in a relationship. So I don't get this right here. I don't get this. I don't get the family and friends. None of that, because I don't meet girls' family and friends. They don't post me on social media because I don't do relationships. This is specifically for relationship people. All right. If you're not in a committed relationship, do not expect a woman to talk to you highly about her friends about you. Y'all not exclusive like that yet. And she damn sure shouldn't be putting you on her social media. And you're not exclusive. You shouldn't want her to. Let me add that too. You shouldn't want a bitch. If a bitch did put me on her social media, I say, "Bitch, take that shit down." Okay, guys? But if you're in a relationship, purple pill guy, or was in a relationship, what you would have seen is she would have highlighted you at least for your birthday and periodically just random days where she would just post you or whatever. That's what I've seen, guys. I've even seen it as far as to go see the woman put the man as a profile picture. That's what I've seen. Next, guys, you'll get corny, thoughtful gifts and not just expensive gifts. So what I've seen from the women who have loved me is usually it'll be some kind of corny, thoughtful gift and not so much just a pair of shoes or a coat or something that costs money. It'll be something that costs $10 that put a lot of thought. I actually had a girl 3 years ago who had a song made, about me. Okay, guys, that's what I've seen. Now, of course, don't get me wrong. We love the expensive gifts too, but that'll be in accordance with a corny gift, not just an expensive gift, because they're going to use, and you definitely going to get a card expressing their love and their, I can't do that. I can't get down with going to get a girl a card and expressing my dying love. But what a woman to do is, she gonna get a card and in there she gonna express her affection for you. So if you didn't get that, not just, oh, you got a bathrobe or you got a pair of shoes, you're gonna get something that would require some thought, that means more to the woman than just going buying you some shoes or a watch. Okay, guys? Next, you loved her, but you were never in love with her. All right, guys. So let me explain this. Do any of y'all guys ever see anybody love their cat as much as their dog? Right? I do know we got some people on here that love cats and all this type of stuff. Right? Some of you motherfuckers love every goddamn thing. But by and large, we love dogs way more than we love cats. The reason that is, guys, is because the dogs show us love and affection back. Cats don't, or very periodically. So it's kind of hard to love a cat the way we love dogs. Dogs let you know every second of the day how they feel about you. Cats, they too sometimes. So you can't really never love them, even for my cat lovers on here, for the people that do love cats. I have a hard time believing you selling me that you love that cat the way you love a dog. It's impossible. The cat kind of just look at you like you bothering them sometimes. I say the same thing for my fish and my fish tank. I don't love them motherfuckers. They don't love me. They decoration. And I'm not knocking them. It's not their fault that they can't express or show they love. But I'm just putting it out there. if one of your fish die, you scoop the motherfucker up and you throw him in the goddamn trash and you move on about your day. Your dog, you got to make a Facebook post, YouTube post, Instagram post. You got to go get a shirt made. You got to get it tattooed on you. You're damn sick to your stomach for 2 weeks. Your dog died. Your fish died. You scoop that motherfucker up and you go to work or go to school. It's not his fault, but he can't show you he loved you. Therefore, you, in the words of, I can't remember who made the song, love who love you back. So a woman that doesn't love you or show you love, you can't really love her. So if you didn't really love her like that, then it's because she didn't never show you the love that this is the point what I was trying to say when women come and they say, no man want a relationship. Men just want to play the field. Men do this. And this is the big argument with this, what I have with women, is that when a woman show a man love and affection, even if he's a guy that's theoretically against a relationship, if a woman did everything right and showed a man love and affection, he'll fall in love with her, even if he's opposed to it. Now you got hardcore red pill guys like me that probably won't, but I say 99% of men walking around that if the woman showed the man the right affection and love, he will fall in love. But women these days are incapable of showing men that love and affection. And therefore, that's why they stay single. So if you never loved her, it's because she never loved you. You can't love something that don't love you back. What I would say in this situation here, most men are with women out of convenience. It's sex, it's something. I have a little companionship. I have a girl. I have somebody I can have sex with. And even though I'm not getting the right and the love and affection back, it's better than nothing. That's how a lot of men go into a situation like that. And then you do have some guys who can fall in love with a woman who never loved them, but that's just because they don't recognize their value. They don't recognize that you can find somebody who truly loves you back. So they settle for that mediocrity. They settle for a woman who is something to sleep with, but has very little to offer as in the form of companionship and love and empathy and all that type of stuff. All they is a hole to stick your dick in. That's what those type of women are. If any of y'all guys find yourself in a relationship like this, where you with a woman out of convenience, where it's not really love or something like that, and you're going to be purple pill, find you somebody. You better off staying single until you find somebody that can love you the right way. That's what I say. If that means forever, then you're better off just staying red pill and staying single and just dating than to settle for that shit right there. And last, guys, she just fell out of love. This is coming from the place of, guys, if you know you didn't change as a man. Now, a woman can fall out of love with you if you change. Some men, when they catch feelings, they can change. They can become controlling, possessive, insecure, booty whipped. I am taking this from a point that you know you didn't change. You know you're still the same man. And all of a sudden, one day she woke up and she's out of love with you. What that tells me is, and if you didn't change, was that you was a placeholder. You was something to do while she was rebounding over something, or she was in a bad spot in her life and she needed somebody to keep her mind occupied. Whatever the case may be, you was her emotional support. So she was fucking with you then. But now she's over that, whatever that is. Maybe it was, who knows what the situation was. And now she's just miraculously fell out of love with you. And you know you haven't changed as a man. You know you didn't get booty whipped. You didn't become insecure. You didn't become controlling or possessive or abusive or nothing like that. And she just fell out of love with you. Well, she was never in love with you. You were just something to do until she got in the right mind space to be single or found somebody else. She done got the emotional support she need out of you for the time and point in her life. And I put it to you guys like that. We men go through these spots too. How many of you guys, for whatever reason, dated a girl that you really didn't find attractive, but whether it was because you was going through a drought or you were getting over your ex emotionally, so you settled for a 6, right? And you were dating this 6, and y'all dated for a little, and then one day you just realized, I don't want to talk to this girl no more. Because whatever you was going through internally, you've gotten over now emotionally. And so you quote unquote fell out of love, but in reality, you was never in love. She was something to pass the time while you was in a dark place in your life. You never loved her. You used her for what she was there for, was to get you through a dark spot in your life emotionally. And now you're over it. And now you have no more use for her. And that's what you'll see a lot of times with women who fall out of love. They never was in love with you. You served your purpose and now they have no other use for you. And that's what you know what? I would say, if you guys ask me, I would say the guy that asked me this question, I would probably say that's the number one reason you asked me this question. Because the reason I say that is because if it's bad, then you know it's bad. The reason he asked me this question is because of this right here. He don't know what went wrong. He is wondering how the train fell off the track. What happened? Things seemed to be okay one day, and then it just fell apart. That's why he asked me this question. I've actually had this happen to me before. And I was in a point in my life where financially a woman couldn't find me as a boyfriend, right? So what you'll see, guys, and this is, if any of y'all guys remember back to my video, I can't remember the name of how to keep a woman loyal to you. One of the things that I was saying was talking about financial support and stuff like this. What you'll see, guys, if you're somebody who's not financially stable in your life, you are always setting yourself up to get your heart broke. And let me explain why. Because at some point, hypergamy has to come into the equation. At some point, stability has to enter the equation. At some point, your ability to provide has to enter the equation. And so no matter how much a woman likes your charisma, how physically attractive a woman is to you, at some point, your ability to provide will enter the equation. And so what I found out in my dark places in my life is that I was a fun toy a lot of the times with women who I was something that they could have fun with, but over time, particularly when I was in that basement, they couldn't take me serious long term. And that's what you guys will see when you're not on your purpose and you're not where you want to be financially in life. And guys, this has nothing to do with her finding a higher candidate. She could not have a better candidate right now, and she still can slide away from you because she sees that not only are you not in a position to provide, but she sees that you're not even in a position to do better in the future. And so when I was the bouncer in the basement, not only was I not in a spot financially to provide, to be that provider, but at that point, I wasn't even looking at something to better myself. That came later when I started to become a personal trainer. But when I first got in the basement for the first 3 or 4 years, I was just doing security. And then personal training entered the equation. And so what I would find was in that basement, so I would have all these little quick, short-term, little fleeing things. And that's because long-term, I was not a viable option. Okay, guys? And so I just wanted to bring that up with this placeholder thing. So I'm willing to bet you, whoever this guy was who asked me this question, this is the situation with you. You were just a placeholder, bro. All right, guys. So I hope this helped y'all guys out. I'll get back with you guys next time.